The number one reason to do ice baths is to extinguish fear. When I started my daily ice bath practice, it was because I was afraid I was going to die of prostate cancer. I was even more afraid I was going to die of the allopathic treatments for prostate cancer, and I was determined to find an alternative. Ice baths and cycling in and out of a ketogenic diet brought my PSA from 7 down to 1.1. But that was just the beginning of me trying to confront my fears. There was a time in my life when I suffered from such a crippling travel anxiety that it was impacting my career as a faculty member at Arizona State University. I was consulting for the Army Corps of Engineers, and I was doing research for the Navy, and they wanted to fly me all around the world to deliver lectures and participate in workshops, and I kept declining offer after offer because I couldn't fly, especially not to a foreign country. I didn't know why, but the anxiety of being in a place where I felt like I wasn't in control was crippling to me. After I started that daily ice bath practice to get a handle on my prostate, the fear response began to subside. I found that the ice bath helped me manage my anxieties. I started traveling. I went to Denmark, I went to Guatemala, I went to Panama, I went to China, I went to Iceland, I went to Korea. It feels now like I've been all over the world. But my relationship with fear was just beginning to mature. It was during the COVID lockdowns that I got a phone call from my director telling me I was no longer allowed to speak to the press about my views opposing the lockdowns, that I would have to refer all press inquiries to the provost's office, and I was scared. I was scared for my job, I was scared for my reputation, and I did as I was told. I no longer gave interviews during the height of the lockdowns, but the vaccine mandate changed my mind. When my employer said, I must get vaccinated at risk of my life to keep my job, I decided I didn't want to be afraid anymore. I never did get vaccinated. I waited until the last minute, and I applied for a religious exemption, which was granted. I wish I could have gotten a science exemption, because by that time I had read Suzanne Humphrey's Dissolving Illusions. I had dinner with Aaron Seary, who was pointing me in that direction. He asked me to look at the data, and I did. I knew that I couldn't get vaccinated anymore, and I was tired of being afraid. The ice bath, for me, extinguishes that fear response. When the medical establishment or the administrators at ASU or anyone in social media starts coming after me, and I feel that anxiety beginning to rise up my spine, I get in my ice bath. I extinguish that fear response, and I emerge more courageous than when I